991, your choice for hip hop and R&B soul. Time for Hampton Roads Voices. Yes, time to get all up into this conversation. Today's episode is entitled The Vegan How To. Okay, so if you are interested in being vegan, or if you're interested in changing your entire diet to plant-based, or if you're interested in, doing a vegetarian diet, or, you just want to eat better, say, look, Kilo, I ain't doing all that vegan stuff, but I do want to eat a little better. This show can really help you. Okay, so, we're going to dispel all the misconceptions, all the stereotypes, all of that. Okay, so I have very special guest experts on the show today. They are living the life. They are doing it, and they can help you do the same. I have Nakia Six Williams here. I will be calling her Six all through the show. She's a vegan chef and a certified nutritionist, and she goes by at The Ratchet Vegan on Instagram. You probably ran into her before. I have Jasmine Winbush here. She's a certified plant-based nutritionist, and on Instagram she is at Plant-Based Being. She has a large following as well. And Naomi Brock, she's a personal trainer and a personal trainer on a plant-based diet, might I add. She's the founder of Treasure Life Fitness and Health. Hello, ladies.
Hey. Hello.
Yes, thank you for being here. I'm super excited about this show. And like I was saying off of the air, we are going to have a good time just, letting everything out on the table. We're just going to put it out on the table. Okay, so we're going to go around, and you guys are going to introduce yourself, your name, of course, and what you do a little bit deeper than what I just read. We'll start with Naomi Brock.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so happy to be here tonight and to share with you all about being on a plant-based diet. Like she said, I'm the founder of Treasure Life Fitness and Health, located in Virginia Beach. And I started my journey back in March of 2014 after watching a documentary called Forks Over Knives. And so after viewing it, I had already lost my uncle, my aunt, and a cousin to cancer.
Oh, wow.
So cancer was a huge concern of mine, and I wanted to do anything possible to prevent it if I could. And so basically the next day, I cleaned out my refrigerator, and I made that decision to transition. And so it's been about 3.5 years now, and I've learned a lot. 6 months later, my mother was diagnosed with colon cancer. And so being that I had transitioned 6 months earlier over to a vegan diet, I was able to assist her in her journey. And I really learned a lot about the health industry, the pharmaceutical industry, just everything that we're putting into our bodies. And it really starts with the food. So she ended up transitioning in June of 2015. But it just made me stronger and just help empower me to help others so that they also can have a healthier lifestyle.
All righty, Naomi Brock, everyone. We'll move on to Six.
Hey, this is Six, also known as the Ratchet Vegan. I've been vegan a little over a year now. I became vegan by accident. I was doing a 30-day raw fast, and afterwards I just kind of didn't tolerate meat very well and dairy and all that good things, and even during that fast, I started to read things about the food that I ate, and it made me a little nervous. So I was like, I probably, shouldn't be eating these things, and it just kind of went from there. I didn't do this on purpose. Chicken's delicious. I just don't eat it anymore. So, what do? I am a vegan chef. I do meal prep, food prep, things like that for large parties, mainly holidays, office parties, stuff like that.
And her food looks delicious. Okay. Alrighty. And Jazz, I'm going to call you Jazz throughout the show, but Jasmine Winbush.
Absolutely. Prefer you to call me Jazz. That's great. Like you mentioned, I am a certified plant-based nutritionist, and I am on Instagram at Plant-Based Being. It is a very easy transition to make. I've just always been a very health-conscious person. I was diagnosed with gestational diabetes while I was pregnant with my son, to the point where they thought they would have to hospitalize me and place me on insulin. When I saw the diet, and of course at the time I was eating meat and everything else, when I saw the diet plan from the dietitian, I basically was wowed by the thought I could actually control this just by eating alone. And needless to say, I did well. Just eating, was never placed on insulin. And they say your chances of getting diabetes increase as you get older. And of course, now I'm older. So I've been on a plant-based diet for over 10 years. The ratchet vegan, like, good Lord.
Okay, she clenched her pearls. She said, ooh.
She did. She was taken aback. But it's an easy lifestyle. It just starts with replacing that one simple thing. Meatless Mondays is a great way to go. Start off with the Meatless Monday. Just start incorporating a little more veggies in your life, more vegetables. Does the body and the mind well.
Okay. Yes. So, oh, I'm so excited. And of course, we can't have Hampton Rose Voices without you, Hampton Rose. Okay. So we are welcoming all types of questions. I know that you are curious. I know that you are new to the journey. I know that you're still learning. You've probably been on the journey for some years now. And you know, you still want to bounce ideas off of, you know, your other vegan or plant-based diet sisters and brothers. So go ahead and give us a call and, you know, ask us anything you want to. 823-9110, 823-9110. And we're going to go ahead and start the conversation. Okay, so a little bit off the air, Naomi over here was kind of schooling me on a whole lot. So this is your opportunity to tell the people, not only you, but Six and Jazz as well. What exactly is a vegan lifestyle? Like how does that differ from, you know, being a vegetarian, or what is it?
So a vegan diet, I'll start with that, means you don't have any animal products, any animal byproducts at all. And so a lot of time people say they're going vegan. Veganism is actually a lifestyle, and vegan diet is how you eat.
Okay.
So that's two things you want to be sure of before you get, or research before you get into it. Or even maybe you don't want to label yourself at all. I actually just say I follow a plant-based diet because I don't technically follow everything under veganism. So, yes, vegan diet doesn't have to necessarily mean that you're eating healthy also, because you could still be eating processed foods.
Absolutely.
You can be eating fried foods.
Absolutely.
So there's definitely a difference between vegan diet and plant-based.
Ooh.
Yes. And plant-based is more so, Jasmine, she probably could speak more on it, but it's more whole foods and not a lot of processed foods.
Okay. Anybody else want to jump in there?
No, I totally agree. Most people always classify if you don't eat meat as, oh, you're a vegan. Even when I repeatedly say I have a plant-based diet, oh, so you're vegan. And that's like Naomi said, it's a lifestyle in which you may not wear leather, and there's a whole other there's a whole other aspect to that, where I'm more concerned with consuming whole foods, and I'm more concerned with what I'm putting into my body, and you know, and not to say there's any problem with, you know, all the PETA activists out there, but for me it's you know, I had to touch on that. Six, you know,
Go ahead. Well, I want to hear what you have to say. Are you would you classify yourself as a vegan?
I mean, hearing this, no, I guess, but I don't eat animals because I feel like animals don't say that. Because I don't feel like they're just as important as I am. I just don't want to eat them. Like, I love my cat. She's the greatest thing on the planet, but I own her. Like, I'm not,
right.
Like, I'm not all save the whales. That's just not why I don't eat.
Gotcha. Okay. We do have a phone call already. Let's get to the phone lines. Hi, 91, you're live on the air. Who am I speaking with?
It's Sarita.
Hi, Sarita. What's your question,
How are
comment, or
you?
concern? I'm doing well.
Good. My question is what do they eat, like, on the go? I'm constantly on the go, so it's hard to maintain that type of lifestyle when I can't just go through the drive-thru and get something to eat.
That's a good question, actually.
But, however, you can. Taco Bell, which we all, you know, are strayed away from as kids and in college, but Taco Bell has an entire vegan menu.
Oh, really?
Yes. They have it. They can get anything that you get at Taco Bell, you can get with black beans. They have Fresca. You can tell them that your Fresca is kind of a style they put onto their stuff, not the drink. You can tell them that you're vegan. They immediately will take the cheese off. They offer burritos, tacos, Mexi Melts, everything that's vegan. So Taco Bell won me back that way. Because you can go in there and it's still just as inexpensive. Yeah, and also, just to be honest, doing this, you kind of have to be prepared. Food prepping becomes really important. If you can set aside a couple hours a week just to make things like snacks for on the go, that's really important. I'm not even gonna lie to you, because it is hard sometimes. But again, if you're in a pinch, Taco Bell will always save your life.
Absolutely. Not only that, I would like to piggyback by saying there's grocery stores everywhere. Instead of pulling up to McDonald's or Burger King, you can run into Farm Fresh right quick.
That's
true. You can
true.
go to 7-Eleven that actually has complete cookies that are vegan. They sell juices now, so we're coming. Like it's more accessible now than one would imagine. You can pull up the food line and grab a quick thing of cashews, bananas,
Hummus.
a green juice, hummus, pretzels. It's out there, so it's not necessarily I'm at McDonald's, what do I do now? It's you get away from McDonald's and go somewhere else.
Even if you're not vegan, please stop eating at McDonald's.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
That's
Yeah, I don't
Someone.
do McDonald's. Yeah, I mean, I was using that as an example, but it's almost, I guess, maybe the concept itself is overwhelming when you consider convenience, for the average working person that's out on the go all the time.
Right.
And so that's kind of like, what I was asking. But Miss Ratchet Vegan, I'm letting you know, I follow you. I love your work. I love all your posts, all of that. So kudos to you. I don't know the other two, but kudos to y'all too. But I can follow her.
Oh, thank you.
Y'all have a good day. Thank you.
You too.
Thank you, Sarita. Yes. Yes. Make sure you are continuing to get those phone calls in. I know you have questions about having a plant-based diet or being vegan or, get those questions in. 823-9110, 823-9110. I have special guest experts here. Nakia Six Williams. She's a vegan chef and certified nutritionist. She also goes by The Ratchet Vegan on social media. I have Jasmine Winbush here, certified plant-based nutritionist at Plant Based Being on Instagram. And Naomi Brock, personal trainer, founder of Treasure Life Fitness and Health. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, we're going to get back to the phone lines because I know you're calling, and we're also going to talk about what's the hardest part and surprisingly the easiest part of switching our diets to plant-based or switching our lifestyles to vegan. Keep it locked right here. It's Hot 91. Hot 91, your choice for hip-hop and R&B soul. We are in the middle of a great conversation. Tonight's episode is entitled The Vegan How To, and that's exactly what we're here to do. We're here to help you get down to the nitty gritty, okay? So you're tired of eating chicken, you're tired of eating meat altogether, or, you really love animals and you're like, I don't want to eat that. Or maybe you're stumbling upon a plant-based diet by accident, like one of our special guest experts. Whatever your journey may be, or you're considering it, whatever, we are here to help you explain and break down what it means to be vegan or what it means to have a plant-based diet, okay? So we do have special guest experts here. Jasmine Winbush, certified plant-based nutritionist. We have Naomi Brock, personal trainer and founder of Treasure Life Fitness and Health. And Nakia Six Williams, a.k.a. The Ratchet Vegan, vegan chef, certified nutritionist. And we have you, Hampton Rose. Give us a call, 823-9110, 823-9110, with all of your questions about making that transition. All right, we are dispelling myths and misconceptions and stereotypes and all at this show. All right, so let's go straight to our phone lines. Hi, 81, you're live on the air. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, good afternoon. This is EJ.
Hey, EJ.
I'd like to. Hi, how you doing? I'd like to say that it's good that the sisters are up here on the radio trying to, reach another paradigm shift with the, with the vegan type lifestyle and the plant-based lifestyle. I saw the video, folks, overnight. It was very, very informative, very good. And as well, there's I don't know if there's a DVD, but there's a CD called "What Would Jesus Eat," and that is very good as well. If you can get a copy of that, if people can get a copy of that, that's very good, very informative. What would Jesus eat? That's good. But the thing about it is that I've noticed, I'm older than the average person. I'm an old Spartan, but I've noticed that the younger generation, the younger demographic population, it seems like they're less healthier than when I was coming up. It seems like they are more prone to eat fast food, processed food, and what disheartens me is I see women when they get their little wick and everything on the first of the month or wherever they get it, they're making groceries at the dollar store, and that's just appalling to me because 99.5% of all that food that they get out the little freezer and all that stuff is processed, highly processed. and they don't even know where it came from most of the time and how it was processed. And I just think the black community needs to do better. So I take my hat off to the sisters that are trying to give another approach for, plant-based and veganism type living, because we need to do that, because it's with the incidence of diabetes and, cancer in the black community. I find that, and I would say that the younger generation will going to be more susceptible to these type of ailments and illnesses more so than probably my generation, because these kids are just, they're just so, in the microwave generation. So I would like to just give my comment and like just hear your reply on that off the air. Thank you.
Thank you, EJ. We're going to keep the phone lines going. 823-9110, 823-9110. Hi, 81, you're live in the air. Who am I speaking with?
Toya.
Career. Hello?
Toya. Hello?
Yes. You say your name is Career?
Toya.
Okay. Talea?
Toya.
Kalea. Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm butchering your name. I apologize. Go ahead. What's your comment, question, or concern?
My question is, what supplement should I be taking when I'm on this plant-based diet?
That is, you don't really need anything besides B12.
B12.
That's really it. Other than that, if you're eating correctly, like you should be eating, whether you're eating meat or not, you're going to get everything you need. You're not missing anything. Anything a piece of meat can give you, there's a plant that can do it for you. That's such a huge myth. You don't need to take a bunch of extra vitamins or anything like that. You don't need to replace anything unless you have low energy, take some B12. But other than that, you're not missing anything.
All right, thank you, because I recently just dived into it, and I was like, there's got to be something that I'm missing. And I heard a few things. Everybody's talking about B12, but I was like, is there something else? Should I be taking a multivitamin? Or maybe I should just be looking more into what plants I need to be eating in order to stay.
Okay. Naomi wants to chime in too.
Hey, Toya, do you have any conditions currently that you are already worried about? You don't have to say what they are, but do you have any conditions? Are you feeling okay right now?
I feel okay. Just a little bit drained of energy, and I think that's just I'm on the go already, and I have not been taking any B12. So,
okay, because before I transitioned, I had an issue with low iron, and I also had, based on the tests, when you go to the doctor, they said I had low iron. They said I had low vitamin D, but I felt fine. So, earlier this year, I went back and got retested, and my iron levels were great. So I just increased more leafy vegetables. I would do lemon water in the morning, and I would add blackstrap molasses. So if you have a concern, there are certain things that you can do to address that. There are certain herbs that you can take to address that. But if you're feeling fine, there's really nothing that you need to worry about. I know a lot of people worry about vitamin D. If you go out in the sun, I would say at least 30 minutes a day. Then you can get your vitamin D that way. But yeah, so if you're feeling okay and you don't feel any pain, and as far as energy, I would say just make sure you're eating breakfast. I personally eat a lot of fruit, so I eat fruit, I drink my water, I drink my herbal teas, and I really don't have an issue with energy. But if you're just starting out with this, it is going to take your body some time to adjust and get used to it. So feel free to follow me. I'm on Instagram. Feel free to reach out. I'll be happy to help you if you have any concerns or as far as your energy or any other deficiencies that you might be concerned about.
Well, thank you so much. I probably will come see you over in Virginia Beach.
Okay.
All
Thank you.
no problem.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
If you're on the phone lines, just make sure you hold on really quick. Let's get a little bit of conversation underway, and then we'll go right back to our phone lines, okay? So what was, ladies, in your personal opinions for you, what was the hardest part about transitioning, if there was a hard part?
I think for me, this is Jazz. I think for me, the hardest part was just the constant negative comments from people. The actual diet is not difficult. I love to say the hardest thing to change in your diet is your mind. Once I changed my mind and decided to do it, it was very simple. Simply replacing certain things with other options. But the hard part was literally I think the lack of positive reinforcements from others.
Wow.
And you'll be surprised how far that'll take you, just to simply say, wow, that's awesome, you're doing good. Oh, how can I learn that? Well, what are you eating today? How can I incorporate? But, you typically get the, oh, you can't eat over here. Or we can't invite you out today because we don't know where you can go to eat. That type of thing. That's my concern and not others. But just kind of the negativity or the assumptions behind being vegan or having a plant-based diet, that you're very judgy, you can't go anywhere, I don't know how to deal with you on a social level. That part for me was difficult.
Yeah, that's very believable, okay? Because, no, seriously, especially in the African-American community, the black community, girl, let's go out to eat. And we talk to each other any type of way anyway.
Right.
So, girl, let's go out to eat. Oh, we can't take you. It's just, those type of comments can kind of deter you on your journey.
Absolutely.
Okay. How about you, Six?
I really enjoy cheese.
So
it took me a while to find a replacement that I liked. That really, honestly, I live off of like yogurt and pre-workout. So at one point I don't eat yogurt anymore, clearly, because I cannot find a vegan one. If you know of one, please tell me. Giving up stuff like that, it wasn't hard to give up milk really, but it was like cheese and yogurt.
Yeah.
Like I can't put honey in my tea, but agave is delicious, so is coconut nectar. But cheese was the hard part, and then finding something that actually tastes and acts like cheese, so I could still eat the things I like to eat. That was probably the hardest, honestly. That's the thing that I really struggle with. I enjoy cheese.
Yeah. You can make your yogurts now.
Excuse me?
You can make yogurt.
That's a lot.
It's really not. I'm going to hook you up.
Okay. And how about you, Naomi?
So I was already into health and fitness, so I had already made my mind up. So there wasn't anything that I can really think of that was hard to give up, but just reading labels and making sure that something was vegan, that was the hard part. And then just going out to eat and having to explain and just making sure that the dish didn't have any animal products in it. So going out, going to events, even now, not wanting to feel like I'm better than anybody else, or just having to be like, I'm just going to eat before I come.
Yeah.
So that's the hardest part to me. But actually giving up foods, you could still have, not that it's good, but sometimes you could have pizza, French fries, ice cream. I mean, there's still things like when I started out that I was eating that was vegan. So
would you, so are you still eating like ice cream? Right. No.
I am on a raw vegan diet right now. So I eat mainly fruit and vegetables.
Gotcha.
So that's the extreme of it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's get back to these phone lines, and then we're going to ask the ladies what is the surprisingly simple part, and I think we can guess what that is. Hi, 91, you're live on the air. Who am I speaking with? Chris. Hey, Chris.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well. What's your comment, question, or concern?
I'm stressed out. I'm 400 pounds, and I truly want to be vegan, but I don't know where to start at all.
Okay.
I really don't.
Well, I guess you came to the right spot. Where can you start, ladies?
Transition.
Right.
You're not going to be a vegan tomorrow. Like there's some people who can do that, and kudos to you. But I think for most people, if you ate a porterhouse, like not you, but I'm saying if you like truly enjoy meat, you're not going to stop enjoying meat overnight. Like, be easy on yourself to transition into that. Like, don't all of a sudden cut all of that out of your diet. For a lot of people, there are some who can have that kind of willpower. That is amazing. But take your time. Like, start cutting out things at a time. Like, okay, I'm going to stop eating pork. Stop eating pork anyway, please. I'm going to stop eating pork. Okay, then I'll stop eating beef. Then I'll stop eating chicken. Then I'll cut out fish. Then I'll work on dairy. Like, just take what you can handle, what makes sense, and for your life as well. Because you have to start, because again, meal prepping becomes important. Is while you can find food on the go, no, it's not as easy. So make sure that you're being easy with yourself and realistic about your expectations.
Absolutely. And I like to piggyback on Six. This is Jazz, and I'm at Plant-Based Being. That Meatless Monday, I feel like it's a wonderful option. You start off with 1 day a week of being meatless. And I don't mean Meatless Monday as in for dinner, I'm going to cut out meat. No, Meatless Monday. Go all day Monday with no meat. And then just, increase your days. And you'll find within that one day of not eating meat, you'll start looking at different options. You'll start to seeing things differently. And in that journey of finding something to replace that meat with, you're learning. And the more you learn, the stronger you get mentally. And that makes your choices easier to obtain because you'll start learning this information easier and quicker.
And I agree with the ladies. Even though I transitioned basically overnight, if I could have changed anything, I would have definitely done more research. So if you have health conditions, you want to figure out what plant-based foods you need to take to address that. And then you also need to realize that if you do it overnight, you're going to be shocking your body. So you definitely want to gradually transition into this plant-based diet.
Okay. Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead, Chris.
One of the ladies there said she was a personal trainer and a vegan nutritionist, I believe.
A plant-based nutritionist, yes.
Okay. At the time, I'm on a fixed income, and I was wondering if one of the ladies could maybe take me under their wing and train me and teach me and make me a super vegan.
Sure. I'm on Treasure Life. I'm at Treasure Life Fitness and Health on Instagram. So feel free to contact me. I have my website there. So feel free to contact me there, and I'd love to help you out.
You have a website as well, right?
Yes, treasurelifefitnessandhealth.com.
And if
Treasure Life and Treasure Life Fitness.
Treasure Life,
Health.
treasurelifefitnessandhealth.com.
Okay.
And so, yes.
And what was the first one?
Yep, that's Naomi Brock. What are you guys' contact information?
TheRatchetVegan@gmail.com, or you can send me a DM I'm on Facebook as well under The Ratchet Vegan. Send me a DM on Instagram.
I followed you, and I think I followed the other one too.
I'm at Plant-Based Being on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook under Energy Infused Foods. And again, at Plant-Based Being, you can always send me a DM. I'd be more than happy to send you suggestions, recipes, references of where to find materials and so forth.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem, Chris. Thank you for calling.
All right.
If you are on the phone lines, please hold on, okay? Help is on the way. When we return, we're going to get more into this conversation about going vegan or going a plant-based diet or just switching up your whole entire lifestyle and eating better. All right? So keep it locked right here. It is Hampton Rose Voices, the vegan how-to on Hot 91. That's right, Hot 91, your choice for hip-hop and R&B soul. Hampton Rose Voices is live right now, and tonight's episode is entitled The Vegan How-To. Okay, so you are thinking about making the transition, or you're like, oh, no, that is not my thing. But let me tell you something. Eating these type of dishes, the plant-based dishes and things of that nature can really help you. So you should be striving to eat better, rather you plan on giving up meat or not. Okay, so we have special guest experts on the show, Naomi Brock. She is a personal trainer, and she's also the founder of Treasure Life Fitness and Health. And just to add, she is on a raw vegan diet. Correct?
Correct.
All righty. And also we have Jasmine Winbush here. She is a certified plant-based nutritionist. She's at Plant-Based Being on Instagram. And Nakia Six Williams, vegan chef, certified nutritionist at The Ratchet Vegan. Ladies, we are having such a good time. And you agree? Can't even talk. I'm so excited.
Absolutely.
All right, so we want to keep those phone lines ringing, okay? If you have any questions about making the transition, I'm going to go ahead and throw out a question for you, and I want you to answer it for us, Hampton Roads. Why did you go, if you are vegan or if you are strictly a plant-based diet, why did you go? Or if you are considering going vegan, why? Why? Tell me why. 823-9110, 823-9110. Hi, 821, you are live on the air. Who am I speaking with?
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
What's your name?
This is Tiana.
Hi, Tiana. What's your question, comment, or concern?
Well, I have a question and a comment. I actually started doing a plant-based diet earlier in the year, so I've been doing it for about 6 months. But I kind of relapsed a little bit a couple months ago, just due to variety. Really, I felt like I was eating the same thing. Probably like rotating 10 different recipes around. Like I kept feeling like I was eating sauteed vegetables, rice and beans, and like vegetable soup. I know there's plenty of other recipes out there. I just can't. I don't know. They just seem a little too intricate for me, so far as using different ingredients and everything like that. So I was just wondering if you guys had any advice so far as like having a different variety of recipes to use so far as dinner and lunch and breakfast.
I'm just going to throw it out there. Follow me at the Ratchet Vegan on IG. That's actually what I do all over my Instagram.
Yes, follow her.
But honestly, if you Google a recipe that you like, replace the meat part of it with the vegetable. Like curry, I just use chickpeas instead. If you love cheesesteak, slice up some mushrooms really thin instead. You just got to find a way to replace that part of it. You can still eat the foods that you like. You gotta play with it. Do you enjoy cooking?
I do, and it's because I've actually tried curry chickpeas before. But I just feel like no matter how many different ways I flipped the taste, I was basically still eating the same thing.
Gotcha. You just gotta play with it, honestly. I mean, I get the whole variety thing, though. I can definitely understand that, especially if you're not sure. Go on Instagram and just search the hashtag vegan and just find different people who are, cooking up there and see the different recipes. Google, I think because it's becoming a much more prominent lifestyle at this point, there's so many recipes and so many like blogs and stuff like that to give you some information on new ideas and stuff like that.
I totally agree with Six. This is Jazz, and I'm at Plant-Based Being. On my Instagram, I do videos consistently, daily, on different dishes, recipes. And what I like to do is most of my dishes are 5 ingredients or less. Mm-hmm. Right now, I'm putting a clutch pearl, Six. Clutch pearl. Right now, I'm putting together a website, Energy Infused Foods, in which I'll have an ebook and a regular cookbook on there. But most of my dishes are literally 5 ingredients or less, different herbs and things to put together, like a pesto from simple basil, pine nuts, and avocado. With lemon juice, little things you can find around your house or up the street around the corner from your home. But I do agree with Six. What I suggest is if you feel like you're eating the same things repetitively, think of something that you will enjoy eating, and then look for a vegan alternative to that particular dish instead of being stuck in that one thing.
Yeah, I like that.
Gotcha. Thanks. I like that whole 5 ingredient thing because I've actually looked at some recipes, and it just seems like a lot of vegan recipes call for a lot of different spices, I guess because they're trying to get a particular taste. So, yeah, I appreciate that.
Try again, girl. Try again. You can do it. You can do it.
Got this.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
We're keeping those calls going, 823-9110, 823-9110. And then in a bit, we're going to get into some misconceptions and myths of a plant-based diet or veganism. Hi, 921, you're live on the air. Who am I speaking with?
Hello?
Hi, what's your name?
Raina.
Hi, Raina. What's your question, comment, or concern?
Actually, first, I want to start off by saying thank you so much. Not a lot of people talk about this topic. They kind of shy away from it because they feel that it's hard. Mm-hmm. I, too, fell into it by accident. I want to give a shout-out to Western Branch Community Church. I started with a fasting over there, and I just found out that it worked for me. I had a lot of issues with colon and constipation and, all that stuff that goes with eating meat and red meat. And once I started just giving it up, I felt so much better, much better.
Wow.
So first, I want to ask, well, I did have a question about the cookbooks and things like that, but I also wanted to add a comment to the lady that had just asked about recipes. I'm not sure if she's with Fitbit, but if you join a group there's so much vegetarians and vegans that share their meals and their preps and their recipes. So if she wanted to look into that and joining a vegetarian community within the Fitbit, she can probably look into that, and it'll probably help her out. But aside from the recipes online, I wanted to know, is there a cookbook for us out there that, will give us different varieties and kind of fancy it up for us?
I'm sure there are plenty. Can you guys think of any?
Do you guys have any suggestion onto some good ones?
There is one. Oh my goodness, this girl I follow on Twitter, she just wrote one. Let me find it. Hold on, because I love her stuff. I'm sorry, this is...
No worries. So she's going to find that. So if you could keep listening. Was that your only question or comment?
No, just aside from that, and I mean, you guys are doing excellent work. Oh, you know what? I do have another question.
Please.
It sounds like most of the ladies are based in Virginia Beach. Am I correct?
Yes, they're here local.
Okay. Are you guys branching out to like Chesapeake? Because I live in Suffolk. Mm-hmm. So, the commute back and forth, and I also work in Norfolk, though. So I was wondering, are you going to open up anything over this way? That way, if we wanted to go in and join the gym and even see the nutritionist, kind of open up offices and closer to over here. I feel that the Suffolk area, everything takes about 20, 30 minutes to get to and from, and not a lot of people find themselves driving into Virginia Beach because of the distance. So I was just wondering, are you guys looking to branch out eventually?
Well, I would like to say, this is Jazz at Plant Based Being. You asked about books regarding recipes, and I'm drawing a blank right now, but if you go to my Instagram and just DM me, I can send you links to really good recipes that are really simplistic in nature. As far as branching out, for years I've done food demos in Atlanta and in Panama City Beach, Florida. I do plan on doing food demos here, in which I will get with different communities and different churches and do food demos within Virginia Beach, Norfolk, and Hampton. So again, just stay in touch with me on my page, and I will have that information posted soon. And then on Facebook, it's Energy Infused Foods.
Okay, wonderful.
I also found that cookbook for you. It's called The Lettuce Feast, like the vegetable lettuce feast, by Eva Cannon.
I'm sorry, the lettuce feast?
Feast. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what was the author's name?
Eva Cannon. EVA.
Eva Cannon. All right, wonderful. All right, thank you so much. Just keep up the good work, ladies, and spread the word, because it's a better life. I feel good.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'd love to hear that. Yes. And we have one more call, and then we're going to talk. Hi, 81, you're live on the air. Who am I speaking with? Hello. Hi, 81, you're live on the air. Who am I speaking with?
Hello?
Hi, you're live on the air. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, my name is Tracy. How are you?
Hi, Tracy. I'm doing well. How are you?
Okay, good. Great. I didn't know that I was actually connected, so that's why it was a delay. Just wanted to say thank you, all of you, young ladies, for doing this show. The one thing that I would recommend and suggest, though, is, excuse me, involving some guys so that, men will do what is necessary to ensure that their colon and their prostate and all of those things are intact. Because my introduction to this was a result of my partner having to cut meat out of his diet, like, immediately. And so, as not to sit there and nom on meat while he couldn't, do it, I kind of fell into the vegetarian lifestyle, for which I am still. I attempted the vegan thing, but I just can't with that right now. At some point, maybe, but I love my cream and my coffee in the morning, and I love my cheese. So what I have to do is I have to make what works for me work, and it has worked for me tremendously. Since, like, April, I'm down 26 pounds, and I don't even miss it. I guess I'm like one of those, the lazy vegetarian, because I don't really cook a lot. A lot of what I do is purchase items from Trader Joe and I just need it quick, I need it tasty, and I need it filling. And that has worked for me again tremendously. So that's just a couple of suggestions for those that are listening.
I appreciate that.
Sure, no worries.
Yeah, let's keep the phone lines ringing. 823-9110, 823-9110. He wants some fellas involved, okay? Yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of male, vegans and plant-based dieters, if that's a word,
Absolutely.
out there. Plenty of them, of all races and, but we got the sisters in here today, okay? So that is what we're doing. So, earlier in the show, we said the difference between, plant-based and vegan, what a vegan lifestyle is, and that is not using animal products or animal byproducts. Jazz, can you tell me what are animal byproducts? And anybody else can chime in as well.
Absolutely. Animal byproducts are any type of food or anything you consume that comes from an animal or is made from animals, such as honey, comes from bees, and that's such a debatable thing as well. I shouldn't have came up with honey first, because that's a debatable thing in the vegan community. But such as milk, dairy, cakes, things like that, that's made with eggs and milk are considered byproducts. And some vegans go as far as clothing, makeup, hair products. Whether it's been tested on animals, they won't use that. So that's, when we start differentiating a vegan lifestyle versus a vegan diet.
Right.
Or a plant-based diet.
Anybody else wanted to add?
I think another one that a lot of people, even myself, aren't aware of is gelatin. And that's in gummy bears, supplements, candy, gum. So if you're into, I would say, veganism versus just eating healthy, that's another thing you want to be aware of. But then again, gelatin is like animal bones, animal scraps. So I'm not sure that you really want to be putting that into your body.
Interesting. Gelatin is grinded up animal bones and animal scraps.
Yeah.
Wow. And you said jelly beans? What did you say? Gummy bears.
Because I was taking a vitamin D supplement when I transitioned. And so
it was a gummy.
It was a gummy for my vitamin D.
I have vegan vitamin gummies.
So I was taking that supplement probably for maybe a year or so, and then I was like, okay, gelatin's in it, I'm stopping it. And then gum, people pop gum in their mouth and they say they're vegan, but it has gelatin in it.
I'm sure there are vegan alternatives. Six just said that you're taking right now, or you took. She's taking a vegan version of a gummy, a vitamin gummy.
Oh, and mints also.
Mints also.
But they have vegan mints, so there's an alternative for everything.
Yeah, they sneak animal things into stuff you just don't even expect, like Worcestershire sauce. Yep. You'll use Worcestershire sauce, and people will say, oh, well, it doesn't have meat in it. Yeah, but it has anchovies. So,
that's another thing when you're eating at like Thai or Asian restaurants, fish sauce. If you get like a fried rice dish or... yeah, you want to make sure you tell them no fish sauce.
You got to know what's in the foods that you're eating. I'm seeing, I'm learning in this whole process. That's very, very interesting. Okay, so let's get into these misconceptions, these myths, these stereotypes, especially as African-American vegans or African-American women who are on a plant-based diet. What are some that you hear, that you despise, or even some that you don't even care about? Just throw them out there.
I'm going to say as a woman, the biggest misconception is I'm going to lose my butt, or
Six is over there losing it.
Or people just commenting that you were too skinny now, you lost so much weight. And the thing is, we've been eating a certain way for so long that we're used to how we look, but that does not mean that's how we're supposed to look. And so once we start changing our diet, we're getting back more to the natural way that we should look. And so people will make comments about it, not really realizing that you're actually healthy. And so as long as you're healthy, what you look like on the outside doesn't matter. If you have energy, you're not feeling sick, then
you're good to go.
Good to go. And I'm a trainer, so there are exercises that you can do to tone up your thighs, your butt. There's squats.
On a plant-based diet.
There's lunges.
And we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Any other myths, misconceptions that you hear?
I think for me, it's on the opposite end of where you're being small. For me, because I'm thick, people will say,
Are you sure you're vegan, girl?
But you're vegan.
How you get that thick like that?
Absolutely. And I always say, vegan food does not have magical calories. Calories is a measurement of energy. And so as long as you know how to eat, you can be thick and healthy, and you can be as petite as you're designed to be and be as strong as you are. And I think that's the biggest misconception is that, well, you're vegan, so you're supposed to be really skinny, or you're going to be really skinny. And it's like, no, these thighs and behind is going nowhere.
These thighs and behind is not going nowhere.
It's not.
You wanted to add something, Six?
I don't know if it's, I want people to stop asking me where I get my protein from. Like, your body literally makes protein, right? Like, protein is a bigger word for building blocks of amino acids. So you make protein. Your body makes it on its own. Like, if you want to ingest it, that's between you and your diet. But you don't have to eat absorbent amounts of external protein. And there are plant-based sources of protein. Like, you're like, oh, because I lift heavy weights, I like to pick things up and put them down. So they're like, how do you have enough energy, and aren't you afraid you're not going to be able to build muscle? And I look at my rack and, the squat rack, and I'm just like, I think I'm good. Like, you don't stop asking me, I'll get protein. I eat food. That's just, please stop.
So you can build muscle on a plant-based diet or a vegan diet. We're going to get into that a little bit later as well. Who wouldn't see you don't have to walk around, if you're naturally skinny, then that's something different. But if you have a shape and a curve, you don't have to lose those curves if you already have them, ladies. Okay. Make sure you keep it locked because we're going to get all up into this. This is a very interesting conversation. If you are on the phone lines, please continue to hold. Go ahead and put the phone on speakerphone and turn up your radio and go ahead and rock out with me. When we return, we'll get more into the vegan how-to on Hot 91 Hampton Roads Voices. Hot 91, your choice for hip-hop and R&B soul. Hampton Roads Voices live right now. Tonight's episode is the vegan how-to, and we're having such a good time learning so much about a plant-based diet, a vegan diet, a vegan lifestyle, if you are on that wave. And it's really just about, doing better for our bodies, doing better for our health. So even if you're not interested in being a vegetarian or being vegan or having just a plant-based diet, you can really adopt the recipes and maybe even a third of the lifestyle to try to eat better. Okay, so food can really make or break you. It can really be your kryptonite, or it can really be your life source. We want to have those phone lines ringing 823-9110, 823-9110. If you are thinking about transitioning and you have questions, or you just transitioned and you need some help, I have special guest experts here to help you. Jazz Winbush, she's a certified plant-based nutritionist at Plant-Based Being on Instagram. I have Naomi Brock, personal trainer, founder of Treasure Life Fitness and Health. She is at Treasure Life Fitness and Health on Instagram. And Nakia Six Williams, vegan chef, certified nutritionist at The Ratchet Vegan on Instagram as well. Okay, and we have you. Like I said, keep those phone lines ringing. We have two phone calls. Let me get it together. Hi, 81, you are live on the air. Who am I speaking with?
D.
Hey, D.
Hi.
What's your question, comment, or concern? Thank you for holding it also.
No problem. Thank you. My concern is, while I was holding, I heard the young lady say that she's tired of people asking her about protein. But I am someone who actually lacks protein. I actually have a rare bone disease, so my body doesn't produce protein on its own. And I'm also a sickle cell anemic as well. So I do eat a lot of vegetables, and I actually eat a lot of steak because steak has a lot of protein in it. But that is the only meat that I do eat. So, but I'm trying to steer away from that. So I was just wondering if I could get some help on some, high plant protein that I could eat.
So Six just touched on this a little while ago, but she can repeat herself, and then also the other ladies can chime in as well as far as protein is involved.
I think as far as there being an underlying issue going on, that's going to be a little different for me. I feel like Naomi is probably better equipped to answer that. I will say spirulina is a supplement you can purchase that is really high in protein, but I am not equipped to your particular question. I don't feel comfortable giving you advice on just because that's an underlying issue going on. So I'm going to feel that's Naomi.
Gotcha. D.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey D, this is Naomi. And
Hi.
being that you do have an underlying condition, I would say it would be best to talk to a holistic nutritionist. I'm not a holistic nutritionist at the time, but there are different things that you can do as far as protein. But yes, the best thing would be to seek advice from a holistic nutritionist.
Okay.
All right, D. Good
Thank
luck.
you, guys.
Yeah, good luck on your journey.
Thank you.
Hi, 91, you're live on the air. Who am I speaking with?
Good afternoon. I'm Tiffany Cruz.
Hi, Tiffany. What's your question, comment, or concern?
Well, I first of all just want to thank you for broadcasting this segment. It's very interesting to me. I'm a new vegan. I've been vegan a month today. So
Congratulations.
Yes.
Good job.
Thank you. So I am really thankful for the information and resources that have been brought forth. But I also just wanted to ask, what tips or advice would you all be willing to share? What resources do you think are great for people who are just transitioning and are new vegans like me, and just to stay motivated, just to stay encouraged on the journey?
I think it's always good to find like-minded individuals to surround yourself with, and even if it's just online. Unfortunately, all of my vegan friends are online, pretty much. So,
Sitting right next to you.
except for Six, because me and Six are besties now. We food besties. We're gonna get it in. Naomi, I got you, girl. We're food friends now.
Help us work off this fried food.
But when you first start out, it's always good to have like-minded people that run into the same situations, same scenarios. I suggest on Facebook, there's Vegans of Hampton Roads, and there's Peninsula Vegans Unite. And those are great groups with newbies, people who's just thinking about transitioning, people who's been in the game for a minute, such as myself, 10 years. But that's a good place to start.
Okay, great. I actually have joined the one on Facebook. So
Wonderful.
All righty. Well, continue your journey, and congratulations again.
thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. So coming up a little later, I'm going to be having a conversation with Jay Sennett. He's actually going to be leading a presentation on tomorrow. A session is called "How to Cook While Eating Healthy," and he is going to be letting us know about what to expect with that. It is a totally free event. The third annual Health Summit Conference, and that is happening in Norfolk. That's coming up around 6:45. Okay, but for now. Let's get into keeping our curves. Okay. So you do, Naomi, you do a lot of, training, fitness training. And then Six also said that she, lifts weight still, and she is on a vegan diet or a plant-based diet. What are some of the foods that we should be eating in order to get to, either gaining muscle or keeping our nice curvy bodies on our plant-based diet?
Well, for me, when I wanted to gain weight, what I did was I cut back on the cardio and I focused more on just weightlifting, and I added more grains and starches like beans, legumes, peas, lentils, spelt flour, butternut squash. I added a lot of starches and carbs to build up my weight, and then, like I said, I just cut back on the cardio. So that worked for me. When I started out, I was about 145 pounds, and I did lose some weight. And then I came to the point that I wanted to gain weight. And so, I cut back on the cardio. I lifted more weights. And then now, I'm actually close to 130 pounds. So I'm really small right now. And I don't do a lot of intense working out because I really don't need to. I don't take in a lot of carbs, don't take in a lot of calories. So for me, it's more so about stretching, lower intensity exercises. So it really depends on what your goal is. If you want to gain weight, there's a method for that. If you want to lose weight, there's a method for that. At the end of the day, you just want to make sure that you're healthy and that you're listening to your body.
So to keep all that booty back there, 6, because you look good, girl. You look good, girl. What kind of carbs and starches and things are you eating? Like, what are your favorites?
Yes. No. So I am a fan of food in general. So I think that there are always several cans of chickpeas in my house because they're quick go-tos for when I need extra protein for working out, things like that. Potatoes, sweet potatoes, dark greens that's a sign of there's a higher protein level, antioxidant, things like that. And also with protein, for the most part, and for most people, we all stress about our macros, but we don't think enough about our micros. So those amino acids, your magnesium, things like that, like, are you paying attention to that as well? Because those are the things that build protein. And just, I lift a lot. I pick stuff up and put it down. So, like, I'm not a fan of cardio. Look into different plant-based proteins. I'm not going to recommend one for you because they work differently for different people.
Right.
Just look into them, see which ones you like best, what works best for you. I am a protein shake kind of girl, so I will have that after I work out or before, just because I do lift pretty heavy. So I have to be cognizant of that because that's a thing.
Okay, I love to hear good news like that. You can keep your booty, girl. You can keep it.
Absolutely.
And you can actually gain it too. So
absolutely,
that gives me hope. All right, so affordability. Ooh, that's a really good one. And again, we want to hear from you, Hampton Roads, 823-9110, 823-9110. How did you transition? I want to know. Did you hop right into it? Did you do baby steps? Share your testimony because you can really be helping someone else who's listening. 823-9110. So affordability, is it, a lot of people say, I can't do all that because that's just too expensive. It's just too expensive to do. What do you guys say to that?
I think it depends what kind of diet you're on, just to be completely fair. It depends on if you are someone who is completely non-GMO, completely organic, if you are completely raw, like, I feel like that can make a difference versus if you're willing to budge on those kind of things. And affordability, it blows my mind that in the Kroger by my house in Virginia Beach compared to the Kroger in Ward's Corner, like, so if you may not have access, so what you have access to is kind of what you buy, and it might be more expensive if your only real option is whole paycheck, because we all know that's just not, so I don't shop at Whole Foods. I ain't got it like that. So it's for me, it's not that much more expensive, if at all. I actually probably save a little bit not buying meat. But again, it kind of depends on what kind of diet you're going for, how much you eat, how people are in your home. But overall, no, I don't think it's any more expensive. Think about it. You're cutting out a lot of fast food places.
Right.
You're cutting out a lot of expensive, like, you go out and you get like a plate of oxtails with macaroni and cheese. That's what, a good $16 for a good plate. So it makes up for places and other things, like it just depends on how you're looking at it.
Yeah, I agree with 6 because the money you save from fast food, from buying meat products, from buying dairy, from buying sodas, because I don't drink sodas. The money you save on the things that you just typically just grab hold of and don't really pay attention to, you're just buying it. If you stop buying those things, you'll be surprised how you can use that money in other avenues, in other arenas of the grocery store, going down aisles you've never went down before. Because a lot of people will say, oh, well, where do I get nutritional yeast? Do I have to go to Whole Foods? I have to go to the organic? And it's, if you go down aisle 6 next to the flour and keep straight,
it's right there.
Girl, it's right there. And they're like, oh, I didn't know that. Or buying beans by the pound, by bulk. And that can feed your family for a month. And so just, that porterhouse, that money you spending, at P.F. Chang's, girl, you can eat a little better than that. A little healthier, I should say.
Okay. Did you want to add something?
Yes. So like they said, depending on your diet, if you're eating only organic, non-GMO, which I try to buy everything organic, but I shop at Kroger.
Yes,
Kroger has a affordable, pretty good produce section. They have a natural food aisle. So Kroger, you don't have to go to Whole Foods. You don't have to go to Trader Joe's. You can go straight to Kroger. Yep. That is my number one store. And then I also go to Organic Food Depot, located in Virginia Beach, Virginia, off of Holland Road. And I believe there's a location in Ghent.
On Granby Street, off of 19th. Yes.
So those are my two stores. I am very picky. So, yes, I do spend a bit on my food, but that's what I spend my money on. People choose to spend what's important to them.
Say that.
And so if you don't want to buy organic, I understand people may have family, you may have children or other responsibilities. What you can do is buy non-organic, but you can soak it in a apple cider vinegar water mixture and scrub the pesticides off with the vegetable brush. And there are certain fruits and vegetables that you want to try to buy organic if you can, and then there are others that you kind of slide with, especially if the skin is thicker. So that's something you want to research.
What was that mix again to rub the pesticides off?
So you can mix apple cider, 1 part apple cider vinegar, 1 part water, and then you can soak the vegetables. And they even have vegetable sprays if you want to go that route.
How long do you soak your vegetables?
I personally don't soak them, but if I needed to, you could soak it for 5 or 10 minutes, or you can just scrub it off.
Gotcha.
I do that, and you'd be surprised at like a cucumber. You can see the wax coming. It's a different color afterwards. Like it's wild. Like you can see the wax coming off. Like cucumbers or zucchini should not feel that waxy film on the outside is not natural.
Right.
Like it's not supposed to feel like that. You'd be amazed after you because I use the apple cider vinegar and water. You'd be amazed, and your water will be murky. Like,
another point also, because I used to frequent Fruitive a lot. It's a plant-based restaurant, and they're pretty expensive, but one thing, if you just learn how to make things yourself, you can save a lot of money.
Absolutely.
And meal prep.
Sit at home and cook.
Meal prep on days where you don't have a lot going on, so you don't feel overwhelmed.
Okay. Yeah, because, I've been, me personally, I'm not considering going vegan, but I am but I am doing more to incorporate more plants in my diet. And there are some days I'm like, I'm really not feeling chicken today. I don't know what has gotten into me, but I'm just being more mindful of what's getting into my body. I'm like, you know what? I'm not feeling beef. I don't eat pork anymore. But trying to incorporate non-GMO, well, not non-GMO. Well, yeah, that too. But the pesticides that are on the fruit, I'm more mindful of that too. I didn't know that you can soak it in there, but I be in there just rubbing it off with water, and I'm just like, because once you do your research, that they're spraying those fruits and vegetables in there. It's getting into your body, and who knows what that stuff can do to you. Let's get to the phone lines. Hi, T1, you're live on the air. Who am I speaking with?
Carl.
Carl?
Yeah.
Hey, Carl. What's your question, comment, or concern?
Two things. Well, the first thing, I was listening to the affordability. If you end up paying more now and not having medical bills later, that's how it may even out.
True.
But the second thing is, I overheard the vitamin D. I think that's crucial because I just got recently diagnosed with vitamin D deficiency, and I was, feeling bad for a while. And I think that's, somebody mentioned the vitamin D supplement. I think that's important to point out.
Okay. Well, thank you, Carl. I really appreciate your comments.
All right.
Alrighty. Keeping those phone lines ringing. Hot 91, you're live on the air. Ooh, you live on the air, boo? What's your question, comment, or concern? Hello?
Hello?
Hey, you're live on the air. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, man. My name is Shan.
Hey, Shan.
I'm trying to never get through, so I'm a little,
Yeah. What's your comment, question, or concern?
Well, but she kind of just answered it about the affordability part.
Mm-hmm.
I just recently kind of transitioned to vegan, and I think my biggest problem was dating while trying to transition.
Touch on that.
Yeah, because the guy that I started dating was Southern, so you know how they eat. and then the whole and then whole listening, and then trying to, that's a biggie. So, what's your advice on dating while transitioning?
That's a really good question.
I feel that if that person is open to considering that lifestyle, or if that's something that they're already interested in, that it will probably, or it can work out. But if their mind is already set that they're going to eat how they eat and they don't care about their body, then why would you even consider wasting your time or even considering building with that person?
Yeah.
Yeah, like this might get like way too deep, but if someone does not take care of themselves and they don't care what they're putting into themselves and all that, they cannot care about you any more than that. But even outside of that, like, if they should be open to it. I mean, because that's a big deal. Like, it's not, to us it seems small because we live it, but at the same time to someone else that can be kind of daunting, I imagine, especially dating. Like, oh, the whole I want to impress you thing is there, or how do I take you out to eat, or what if I want to cook for you, or what if I want her to cook for me? I still eat greens and macaroni and cheese, so it's still completely possible. Just you have to learn how to do that. But as long as he's not being a jerk about it, like, I mean, if he's being a jerk, don't date him, no way, because you shouldn't be dating a jerk, period. But you just gotta keep that in mind. Like, if someone does not take care of themselves, outside of just food in general, if they're not taking care of themselves, they cannot take care of you. That's just kind of.
All right.
Yeah, even if you're around someone who eats meat, if they're conscious, like Six just mentioned, of taking care of themselves and they want to do better, I just think the ultimate thing is having the desire to eat better, to feel better, for overall wellness, because you can easily influence another person to end up being, at the same dietary level you're on.
And I think also on us vegans, vegan is not the only way to be healthy. And I think that sometimes people feel like that's how we feel about it. Like, there are people who are very healthy who eat meat, right? But so I don't want people to hear us say you have to be healthy and think that you have to be vegan or you have to be plant-based. I mean, I'd like for you to, like how you're doing, incorporate that into your diet more. Right. But I think a lot of times people may feel like if they're dating someone who is a plant-based or plant-based lifestyle, that they have to do that as well, or have to eventually transition. And for most people, that's not the case. Like, that's not, it depends on what kind of vegan they are. Let me just go ahead and put a disclaimer out there. But for the most part, like, it's not a requirement. Like, I go out to eat all the time. So wherever you take me, I can figure it out. Like, unless you're taking me to, like, Texas or Brazil, then that might, but I mean, most places I can figure it out. I think it's on us, too, to kind of rein in do you know what's in that? Because I had to stop doing that to people.
Right.
Like, do you know what's in that? Like, you're eating that. Do you know what that's made of? And it's like, they don't really care. Right now. They're eating it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I think another cute idea would be like if you are on a plant-based diet and the other person isn't, and it's kind of early, or even if it's not early, just be like, hey, you want to go on a date? My treat. Take them out to a restaurant who has bomb food, because the misconception is when people don't know, they just automatically assume, oh, you're not eating good. Oh, but on the contrary, oh, but I am. So let me show you. That can be a really good bonding moment, and girl, all that. Okay. Did that help?
Yeah, I didn't think about it like that.
Yes, and then if they're open, they like to eat, and they're seeing that you're still eating good, they will eat what you're eating as well. But try to look at it on a different perspective. So, yeah, girl.
Okay, well, I appreciate it, because when he found out that I was vegan, he was like, well, that whole thick thing, like, oh man, you're going to not be thick anymore. And I'm like, Because that's one of the main reasons I like you. I'm like,
first of all,
don't do that.
Wait a minute.
Excuse you? Yeah, girl.
No, the food will help you preserve your sexy.
Okay.
So we're not trying to get bigger, but we're trying to maintain. So the food will preserve your sexy. Tell them that.
It is preserved.
I'm preserving mine.
I'm sorry, that's your
See, they're younger. I'm preserving mine. I'm telling you.
That is
Just
funny.
let them know that.
All right. Well, thank you for calling.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So the third annual Health Summit Conference is tomorrow, Saturday, September the 16th. It's happening from 11:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And it's going to be at the Norfolk United Methodist Church. It's absolutely free and open to the public. So while, we are talking about being healthier and eating better, there is one of the sessions entitled How to Cook for good health. How to cook for good health. If you don't know how to, then this free session will help you. And again, it's happening tomorrow. It's going to be led by radio personality Jay Sinnott, and he's actually on the phone, so I'm going to be talking to him. So make sure you keep it locked. Hot 91, your choice for hip hop and R&B soul. Kilo is here, of course. We are in the middle of Hampton Roads Voices, and today's episode is entitled The Vegan How To. Okay, I know a lot of people are really into going vegan and researching and, you know, uncovering what it is to go vegan, and not only vegan, but vegetarian as well. And if that's not your thing, you know, you're not thinking about going full-fledged vegan or vegetarian, you just want to really start eating more healthy and cooking more healthy, I'm all there with you, okay? So I have a very special guest on the line. I have Mr. Jay Sinnott. He's a recording musical artist and also right now host of WHRO's Sinnott in Session, and he will be in attendance for the 3rd Annual Health Summit Conference happening tomorrow, September 16th from 11:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And he will be one of the presenters for the 4th session of the Summit Conference entitled How to Cook for Good Health. Hello there, Mr. Jay Sinnott. How are you?
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you for being on the show. So, can you tell us a little bit more about this conference summit that is happening tomorrow?
Yes, I can. I want to make one small minor correction. My radio show is on WHRV FM.
Gotcha.
Which is under which is under the WHRO umbrella, but it's on HRV. It's a completely different station.
Gotcha.
But now, to answer your question, my seminar will. Dr. Keith Newby asked me to come in and speak. This will be the 2nd conference that I did with him. He asked me to talk about how to eat healthy on a budget. Mm. And this is one of the things Michelle Obama was trying to get working with, some food chains and stuff like this to try to get them to lower the prices on the quality items, like olive oil, for example. Mm-hmm. Because 80% of our health problems in the United States are diet related. And if people have to start thinking about that, the first step in this is really thinking about it. Yeah. It's just becoming aware of what you are eating throughout the course of the day. And so my seminar, I will talk about how to eat healthier on a budget. And I think that process starts with wanting to eat healthy and just being more cognizant of what you want to put into your body and the effects of certain foods that you're putting in your body.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, eating healthy on a budget. I am right there with you, okay, because money does not grow on trees. So for your presentation, are you going to be cooking? Like, what can we expect from your session?
Well, he initially asked me to cook, but I have basically 45 or 50 minutes, so he wanted me to do 2 things: cook, and do a little cooking demonstration, and then talk about this. And I told him, I said, Keith, it's going to be difficult to cook and then talk about this other issue at the same time.
Yeah.
And then allow room for questions towards the end, because we're all on a time. So we both agreed to just have me talk about the process. I think to really get started with it, like I remember when I was in college at Norfolk State, and we had, students have a budget. I mean, we didn't have a lot of money to spend, and
right,
Raymond noodles and canned soups. I mean, trust me, I've been there.
Yeah.
But the big 3, I want to really zero in on the big 3 problem areas: salt, sugar, and fats. Mm. And to eat healthy on a budget, first of all, you have to budget. You have to really honestly and objectively decide how much money you have to spend, okay? And then, I'll discuss items that you could buy within that budget, like frozen vegetables, for example. Oh, yeah. If they're packaged properly, frozen vegetables will be perfect. They're cheaper than going to the produce line and buying them. Mm-hmm. Just look on the box and see if they add salt. If they add salt, then don't buy them, because you determine how much salt or sugar or whatever if you absolutely insist on putting it in your food, versus buying packaged deal with sodium already included. So that's just one example. Buy frozen vegetables or frozen fruits.
Right.
And just make sure the sugar's not added.
Right. Discovering those alternatives. I love that. I love that. So as you're cooking, since you try to stay away, those ingredients that you try to stay away from is salt, sugar, and fat. What are some seasonings that you use? Because that's one of the biggest things, especially in the African American community. We like to season our food. So to stay away from the salts and the bad things, what do you like to season your food with, Mr. Sennett?
Well, that's a very good question. And I would go as far as to say salt is kind of addicting. The flavor of salt, the flavor of sugar is addicting. But, for example, sugar, sometimes or a lot of times you can substitute honey for sugar.
Okay.
So you want to get away from the processed sugar. Fruit, for example, has natural sugar in it. So you want to gravitate towards things that don't have the refined sugar.
Right.
And so you can cook with honey if you absolutely have to put something sweet in there. Fruit has natural sugar. As for salt,
that's the hard one.
That's a tough one. But here's the word though. Here's the word: moderation.
Gotcha. Okay.
And let me take you through this very quickly. A lot of people we get up in the morning, we eat a breakfast, right? Some might eat, let's say, a blueberry muffin, right? In that muffin alone, you have probably 15 to 20 grams of fat. The recommended USDA daily allowance for fat intake is 25%. So you're almost at your daily recommendation for fat in that one breakfast. Now, by the time lunchtime comes along, you're not even thinking about what you had for breakfast.
Right.
So then you buy this bottled soda, canned sodas or soda drinks or juices. Those are the worst for sugar intakes. That's where people get the majority of their sugar. So drink water. But I know you're laughing at this.
Drink water.
but trust me, man, it's the drink of the gods.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we're literally, the society, man, a culture is committing suicide.
Yeah.
Not intentionally, but the sugar intake, the average American averages a cup of sugar a week. That's insane. Yeah. And most of that sugar is coming from soft drinks.
Wow.
So it's about conditioning our body and our taste buds. It's like if you smoke cigarettes and you want to quit. You have to kind of wean yourself off the cigarette.
Right.
It's not like a light switch turning on and off, but you have to, it takes discipline, it takes courage, it takes all these things to refine your diet, eat healthy, get conditioned to tasting certain foods or tasting food a different way. Like when we walk out, if we're hungry, the best smell in the world is fried chicken.
Right. Tell me about it.
No joke. I'm serious, man. When we come out, we're hungry. If we smell some fried chicken cooking, or anything fried for that matter, it just has that amazing smell. And if we can control our impulses and say, you know what, I'm not going to eat fried whatever. I'm going to get a grilled chicken breast without the skin.
Yeah.
Chicken wings. People love chicken wings. The wings have the most fat on the part of the chicken. People don't think about that. The little wings, have the most fat in the skin. It's all in the skin for the chicken.
Wow.
So I'm trying to get people to I'm giving them information to try to get them to think differently about how they approach eating.
Absolutely. And this, I'm sure, is so much more. And they can get all of that at the 3rd Annual Health Summit Conference happening tomorrow, Saturday, September 16th, 11:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. at the Norfolk United Methodist Church. Mr. Jay Sennett, I want to thank you so much for taking time aside to speak with us and get us going on our journey. Okay, so catch him, Mr. Jay Sennett, recording musical artist and also host of WHRV's Sennett in Session. Tomorrow, he's going to be heading the session, How to Cook for Good Health. Keep it locked right here. It's Hot 91 Hampton Roads Voices. Hot 91, you're live. Let me get myself together. Hot 91, you are live inside of Hampton Roads Voices. Ooh, having such a good time off the air that we have to come and do our business, okay? So we have been talking about all show long going vegan, going more of a plant-based diet. And, yeah, we're, dispelling a lot of misconceptions and things of that nature. If you missed some of that show, the beginning part of the show, we're actually going to have it on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to go ahead and subscribe. Not only this episode, but the episode we had last week, Career Connect. We had an episode at one point about Colin Kaepernick and that whole controversy. Some really good shows on our YouTube channel. So go ahead and subscribe. Hampton Roads Voices on YouTube, okay? So I have special guest experts here. Nakia Six Williams, vegan chef, certified nutritionist at The Ratchet Vegan on Instagram. I also have Naomi Brock, personal trainer, founder of Treasure Life Fitness and Health at Treasure Life Fitness and Health on Instagram. And also Jazz Winbush, certified plant-based nutritionist. She is at Plant Based Being on Instagram as well. So ladies, we've been having an awesome time if we say so ourselves, okay? But for those, sometimes people can say that vegans are very judgmental. I know Six said herself that sometimes she had to stop herself from saying, do you know what's in that? How can we promote a plant-based diet or a vegan diet without being judgmental?
By just like this, by just being visible. If you're doing it, you don't have to say that you're doing it. Like when you're out, like, oh, do you want to have a piece of steak? No, thank you. Like, you don't have to say, oh, I don't eat meat because, no, I don't want steak. Like, I'm good. Like, you don't, by not being as pushy, I guess. And I guess especially in our community, the way that we think that we're supposed to eat, just kind of offering alternatives to that by just doing it at a place of love. And if you're feeding someone, feed them what you want to cook. Like, but I think just trying not to police what people are eating, because it's not your job to do. Like, police what you're eating. But other people will see that and they'll ask you questions. They'll say, well, okay, what's the alternative? So if you're able to give them knowledge versus giving them a tongue lashing, they might receive it completely different.
Well
I
said.
agree.
I agree also, just being the example. And like a lot of times we say what not to eat. Like she said, tell people what they can eat.
I love it. All right, ladies. So do you have anything coming up? Do you have any promotions, things of that nature?
So this is Naomi, and I actually have a boot camp coming up tomorrow. My sister and I were having our first boot camp, and it will be at Mount Trashmore at 10 a.m., and it's $10 per person.
Okay, so we can't say price on the radio. Sorry. It's okay. So if they want more information about how to support, where can they go?
They can contact me at 757-406-4664.
Sorry to cut you off like that, but it's public broadcasting, and we have different rules when it comes to public broadcasting. But you have a boot camp tomorrow, Mount Trashmore, 10 a.m. Follow her at Treasure Fitness Life, at Treasure Life Fitness and Health on Instagram. Okay, and she said she got a whole lot of followers. How about you guys? Cookbooks or anything?
Yes.
Or
this is Jazz at Plant Based Being. I do have an ebook and a cookbook coming out really soon. And again, this cookbook is made to be very simplistic but flavorful. So it's not going to be overwhelming, not going to be complicated, simple 5 ingredients or less type of recipes with a ton of variety. So just follow me at Plant Based Being or find me on Facebook at Energy Infused Foods.
Awesome.
Hey, this is Six. I'm actually working on, even though we're doing the show, on an ebook for a step-by-step, more or less, on how to transition smoothly. So I think it's fitting that we did this. Follow me at The Ratchet Vegan to be abreast with that, and when that's exactly coming out, hopefully it'll be soon. I'm tweaking the last parts of it now, but that will be out shortly as well.
Awesome. All these resources at our fingertips. There is no reason why you should be confused in this process, okay? Just, do your research. So I want to thank my ladies. Thank you guys for being here. You are very insightful, very sharp, and I think we really touched on a topic that is taboo in the African American community, and it's not just for African Americans. It's for across all cultures. But I think it really hits home with brown and black people.
Absolutely, we definitely gotta educate ourselves more because we're passing these traditions down to our families, and our families will pass it down to theirs. So let's do better and get better.
Yes.
Come on, yes.
Yes,
darling. Yes, Auntie. Yes.
And I just want to encourage everyone to just take time, because it is a process, and just take time to learn your body.
Learn your body.
And learn what works for you.
And listen to your body. Like I was talking with Jazz earlier, and I don't like green vegetables, right? That's mad weird being a vegan. You'll see me sneaking spinach into everything, but there are some times when my body's like, no, I want something ice cold and vegetable, like, and listen to that. Like how some days you're just like, I don't want chicken today. Listen to that, because once you start giving your body certain things, it will start to require certain things.
Right.
Absolutely.
Correct. Right. I love that. All right. So like I said, make sure that you check this episode out on our YouTube channel. We are airing this again on Sunday at noon. So make sure you tune in for that as well. And keep it locked. It's more Hot 91.